Yo, what's up? It's your boy Zay Cello back on a video. Today we're gonna be showing y'all how to collect y'all royalties off the MLC. So the rest of your work, the first thing you want to do is go to where it says individual registration tool on the work registration. And right here usually it'll say work title and writer name, but I really bypass this because usually when I type in like the actual work title, writer name, or all the details, it really never pops up for me. I think it'll only pop up like it's something really big or something like that. So I just put something right here and I go down here to create new work. That's really how I go about doing it. Alright, so for the work title, I'm gonna put Have My Child because that's the song I'm gonna be using for this video. And then usually like for the duration and all this other stuff, I really don't put it until towards the end. So that's really what I do for that. Then once you go to next, you'll see where it says writer, and right here you can list all the writers for the song. You can put the writer name or the IPI number. I usually do the IPI number, and then sometimes you may have to create a writer if it's not found in the system. Alright, so I put my information. I put my writer name, my writer last name, writer role, I put composer, and then I put my IPI number. Once I did that, usually I save and then create another writer, and I put the artist on here. And usually if you have trouble finding the IPI number or the writer name, you can go on something called SongView, either ascap or BMI reporter system, and you can type in the title of the song and also type in the performer and see if you can find details on the song. Alright, and since I have the song already registered in ascap, it will pop up and I'll see all the information such as the IPI number, the PROs is registered under, I see my publishers and everything like that. So I'll just grab these details and then I'll put it in MLC. And then for the writer role, I usually put author when I'm doing the artist. Once I'm done with those, I just hit continue. Alright, so now when you get done adding the writers, you'll see what it says publishers, and what you want to do is add a publisher. Now, if you have ascap or BMI, you should have a writer side and a publisher side. And for the MLC, I use my ascap publisher and then link my writer when I do it. So you can actually search the publisher in the system as well. But a lot of times you just starting out, it won't be in the database. So you'll have to create a publisher. You'll put your publisher name, and you'll also put your publisher IPI number. Since I already been using it for so long, it just allows me to add my publisher. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, if you don't have a publisher to do, you can just collect it through your writer on the MLC. But as far as the collection share, usually if you made the beat, like you made it by yourself and then the artist is rapping on the beat, you'll do like a 50-50 split for as far as the composition goes. But I say just go off of your split sheet as well if you all had a contract. But as far as me, since I have my publisher name, my publisher IPI, my collection share, I just click link writer and I link my writer to it, and it allows you to add the publisher for the other writer. But usually I don't really mess with that because I don't know what publisher the artist may be using, so I just collect my share and let them do their part. So now once you did that, it'll take you to recordings, and I click add recording. And this is basically another important part because you want to make sure you enter all the details for the recording. So recording title, I put Have My Child. Recording artist name, I put Baby Male, and then the ISRC is very important because they'll let them know how to grab the song. So what you want to do is go over to the ISRC finder, and a lot of times, depending on how big the song is, you should be able to just type it in and get the ISRC like this right here. And once you see the ISRC, you can copy it and then go back over to the MLC and paste it. But I know sometimes, like depending on how big the song is, you may not be able to do that, or if it just hasn't caught in the system. Usually what I do also is I go over to Spotify, I go click these three dots and copy the link to the song, and then I go back over here and paste it, and this allows me to get it easier too. And if you did a link correctly, usually it'll pop up the same way. So now that I have the ISRC listed, I also do the duration. But like the duration, it really isn't mandatory, but usually when I fill this part out, I just make sure to put the important details that I think would matter, because when I do it like this, all of my songs catch into the database. So release date, it was on 2025 June 13th, I think. So you'll add recording once you're done. Then once you're done with everything, you can just hit next and submit, and that's pretty much how you do it. So once you finish, it should be in your registration history pending, or it may be processing, or sometimes it really completes really fast. But I didn't submit it because I already registered the song. But now another cool thing that the MLC has, like regarding to collecting royalties, is something called a matching tool. And the way you use this, like after you get done registering your song and it actually completes the registration process, you can go over to something called a matching tool. And what you can do is kind of do this similar to how you did the last one. So for recording title, I put Have My Child, and then I put the ISRC. And once I enter the details, like say I search it and you see they got the different DSPs, They tell you the estimated value of what you're looking up. You can see more details if you click on view. They'll show you all the recording details. Like right here, yeah, they show you the duration, ISRC. And basically when you do this right here, it'll let you click on it and actually match that with the other registration that you have already registered, and this way you can collect even more royalties and make sure everything matches. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I think you can also do it without having to enter the ISRC. This is another song I produced, so I should be able to just search it by the recording artist and then by the recording title. And as you see down here, it pops up the same way as the other one. It shows you the record label, DSPs. You know what I'm saying? You can view it, go into details, and once you see stuff like this, you know all of the beats you produced, you know you got your share of the composition. Just make sure you go and claim and link it to the song that you already registered so you can get paid for that as well. That's pretty much a simple way to register your songs on the MLC. So if y'all have any questions, just make sure to hit me up. I'll try to respond to them, and appreciate you for watching.